Today I got a customer with a slow leak in one of her rear tires, and I'm going to show you how I repair it. First thing we want to do is get the car jacked up, which we already do and on jack stands, and then remove the tire with the slow leak, and I already have that done. Now that we have the tire off the car, now we want to identify where the leak is located. We're going to use soapy water to identify the leak. A little bit of Dawn dish soap and water in a spray bottle is your friend. So what we want to do is use the soapy water and spray completely around the rim. And what we're looking for is bubbles. You want to do the outer rim, you want to do the inner rim, look for air leaks, and then you want to do the tread. So then you just keep rolling and spraying the soapy water, and we're looking for air bubbles. Now that we've identified the hole, you can see all the soapy bubbles here bubbling up, and that's what you're looking for. You're looking for a pile of bubbles. And if you move around in there, there's a nail right there. It looks like a nail or a piece of wire. I know it's really hard to see, but I can feel the nail there. And what we want to do is we want to remove that nail. This is the tools and patch kit that I'm going to use to repair the tire. And when we start repairing the tire, we have to move quickly because once you pull the nail out, air is going to leak out of your tire very rapidly. So we need to have our process ready to rock and roll. So what we're going to do is I got a pair of two different pairs of needle nose and wire nippers here to attempt to remove the nail out of the tire. And then I have my plugs that I'm going to use. I have a reamer to ream the hole of the tire, and the plug goes in this jig right here, and then that's how I plug the tire. And this is my adhesive glue for the plug. So let's get going. We're going to prep a little bit before we get started. We want to put the plug in the hand tool to put the plug inside the tire. So you just push that through the opening of the top of the hand tool and pull it through about halfway is what we're looking for. Perfect, about halfway. We'll set that down and be ready with that. Now we're going to attempt to remove this nail from the tire. And then right after we pull it out, air is going to blow out of the hole, but we're going to stick our reamer in there. And what the reamer does is clean out the hole and make it symmetrical all the way around so the plug seals better. And it also opens up the hole to the proper diameter so your plug will fit in there and seal properly. Let's get this nail out of here. We're going to make an attempt at it. All right, there's our nail. It's coming right out. Perfect. All right, there's our nail. You can hear the air coming out. So now what we're going to do is we're going to stick our reamer in the hole and we're going to force it down. And you may have to put a lot of weight into it. Now that we got our reamer in the hole and the hole is reamed out and we're ready to pull the reamer out and put our plug in, we want to put some glue on the plug. And I put a very generous amount of glue on the plug because the glue also helps as a lubricant to shove it through into the hole, because you're going to have to put quite a bit of pressure on the plug to get it to shove through that hole. And the goal is to shove the plug 3/4 of the way down. So that's what we're going to do. You don't want to shove it down too far, about 3/4 of the way down. So now let's get this plug out, or this reamer. Let's get this reamer pulled out and get this plug in. Here we go. We're going to shove it like 3/4 of the way down, just like that. Just a little bit of the top sticking out, probably a quarter of the material that I had there. And then we're going to pull it out fast. Just like that. And we're going to let that set there for a minute. Now that we've let that set for a minute, we're going to go ahead and use a pair of nippers and we're going to cut this plug off flesh. Now that I have it cut off flesh, we're going to check it for leaks one more time. Soapy water is our friend in this procedure. See if we see any more air bubbles. Now that we've checked it for leaks and we have no more leaks, no more air bubbles with our soapy water, we're going to get it put back on the car. I got the tire back on and secured. I got the vehicle lowered back down to the ground. And that's how I repair a tire with a slow leak.